If you've done any woodworking, you know modern lumber is crap. Stuff that's 1A today would have been in the scrap heap a few decades ago. So I salvage lumber whenever I can, and I took apart this railing on this house when we bought it, and I'll put it, show you what I did there. But I saved a lot of that lumber, and this is one of those pieces. As you can tell, it's not really pretty, but I need a 4x4 to make some outdoor furniture. So I'm going to turn that board into basically this board, which is from the same batch, using two tools, sander and a planer. So I'll video that and let you see the results. It didn't take very long, and I've got some really nice wood for my next project. And all it cost me was a little sandpaper and some time. All right, I really don't like sawdust in my garage, so I tend to do this kind of stuff outside. I don't have a proper shop these days, so I work with what I've got, and it's a beautiful day, so why not? Don't know how much the neighbors think of all my woodworking outside. The first thing to do is make sure there's not any nails or screws. You can see there's a screw in the end there, but it's not really going to affect my getting this cleaned up, so I'm going to worry about that right now. But we'll need to get that out. So I generally start dialed back, just a few clicks. And the other little trick is to make sure the debris is going away from you. So here we go. Make sure you're not standing on a cord. I alternate sides just to keep it even, and you will end up with some minor ridges, which will partly sand out, and this is also outdoor furniture, so not a life or death thing. That's easily sanded out. This stuff's been under my deck for a while, so, and this actually goes down a bit here, so we'll see how that works. That might be mostly sanding, and it's probably 30-year-old wood. So that slopes down quite a bit. So I just angled that a tiny bit, took it right off. Doesn't have to be perfectly square for what I'm going to use it for, which is going to be legs for an outdoor table for my wife to put her plants on. Really, just when it feels okay, that's all very sandable. And just one more double check for screws. I think I'll turn this around. That's a really rough end, so I'm going to have that on the going out that way instead of trying to fight it this way. One thing about these planers is always finish past. It's really easy to lift up or drop down, and then you've got kind of a problem. So start flat, all the way across, finish flat. Got a bit of a ridge there. Okay. Now I used to just power sand these forever to get down to usable wood, and then I discovered this little toy. So this is just a massive time saver and sandpaper saver. Okay, that took a few minutes. Let's see. According to the clock on the camera phone, it was 6 minutes. So now we'll switch over to sanding. I'm starting with a fresh 80 grit piece of sandpaper. Then I'm going to switch over to a higher grit sandpaper just to get a little bit cleaner look. Now, a lot of people skip this little step, but if you look on the back of these, it tells you exactly where to do it. And this punches the holes in the sandpaper that pushes a lot of the sawdust in here, which isn't as big of a deal outside, but still. So there we go. Again, so this is a 150. If I was really motivated today, I'd do 80, 100, 150, but this will work fine. And you just do that till it feels right. That's about it. I'm going to put some wood sealer in this. Something a lot of people don't seem to know is that the higher the grit, the finer you have it sanded, the harder it is for that stain or finish to suck into the grain because you've sanded those open pores. 150 for me is about the sweet spot for that because it goes in enough without just being so rough that it's just not right. So I generally land about 150. When I was doing furniture, depending on the type of furniture we're doing, sometimes it'd even be 500 grit. Anyway, so that's why I ended up at 150. It'll still suck in some stuff and it won't feel rough. Now there is a little bit of a edge right here. I'll see if I can get it to show up on the camera, but that would be from when I tilted the planer just a little too much that way, so it dug in. For the purposes of this being just a leg for an outdoor table, I'm not going to worry about it. By the way, I've got a nice little cache of 2x2s that I've already cleaned up. Super useful. They've got some earmarks on them, but if you look at the grain on these, it's straight. There's no knots. There's one with a knot, so I can work with that. And I've got a whole lot more of these I haven't sanded yet. But the point is, 2x2s in particular are really almost worthless for building any kind of furniture, even basic outdoor furniture. So these are like, to me, these are wood and gold. And I'm happy to have them. Another reason to reclaim old wood.